Okay, I have a whole chicken here, and I washed it first in some vinegar, and now I'm washing it with some lime juice. I took off the little yellow pieces that are usually at the end of the leg here, and usually I have some little feathers in these parts. I have a few more to take off. You just can feel them too. Sometimes they're not so visible, but you can feel them. And here you usually have some things here like a little what we call the trachea or windpipe, and the esophagus. You just pull it out there, and the inside now usually have like something stuck to the rib, so it's actually I think the lungs. So you have to take those out, and any little thing you feel inside, and clean up on the inside of the chicken. And then the wing sometimes has some feathers on it too. You take those out, you open everywhere and look underneath and everywhere on the back too, and then clean that up. So now we're gonna rinse it off, look for any more small feathers anywhere, rinse it off, and apply some dry seasoning and some other regular green seasoning. When I took it out of the package, it's not as flawless as I thought it was, but I guess it's good to go. You know, I like when the back is really clean and pretty, but we'll just have to do with what we have. So I'm gonna add the pimento seeds, and then we're gonna move on to the green seasoning. So I have here about a half a clove of garlic, 2 stalks of scallion, a medium onion, and a small piece of Scotch bonnet pepper here. I'm gonna put that in with my thing. I'm gonna rough chop the onion. Just rough chop it because I'm gonna blend it all up together. So let me put this out of the way. Very rough chop, very rough chop. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is take the leaves off the thyme sprigs, because you don't want to blend the little you don't want to blend these parts in it, because you will be tasting some little sharp sticks in your mouth. So I don't like that. Just the leaves alone you need. These I'm not gonna throw them away. I'm gonna put them inside the chicken, so I won't throw them away. So I'm gonna put everything in the blender, or I'm using a smoothie cup here to make it easier for me. Less washing up to do. I'm gonna add just enough coconut oil to get the blender going. So about 2 tablespoons, because the onion and so forth has a lot of water in them. So once you get the blender going, everything will just automatically liquefy. I'm gonna blend. That's it. So I used about a teaspoon of salt overall. So if you want to add more, you can. So I'm gonna fill these cavities now with the seasoning. Get in there. That's between the skin and the muscle. Get it right down. That's good enough. So I'm just gonna put this now in the fridge overnight. The back should be okay. I'm gonna use a Pyrex dish, that way I will go straight from the fridge to the oven and I don't have to change containers again. I'm gonna stick in the little chicken neck there to the side. I won't let this nice seasoning waste at all, just pour everything all over. Okay, so it came with a hole in here in this side, so I'm gonna make another hole over this side here. A small hole, just enough for the top of the leg to go through. So I'm gonna put this here. Take this one, put it in here. Didn't cut through. No, it didn't. Just like that. And we're ready to go. To put the thyme stems in, so I'll just push them in here. We won't waste any of our seasoning. Okay, so I'm just going to use some plastic wrap and cover this. Oh. Okay, I've had this out of the freezer for about 6 hours. So now I'm going to put it in the oven, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some foil just over the chicken so that it doesn't get brown too quickly. And I'm going to bake it for the first hour at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I'll check up on it like every half hour, and we'll go from there. I'm going to cover it with the foil, not cover the entire surface, but I'm going to keep the foil inside the dish so that when the water is evaporating, it doesn't drip into the stove, into the oven. So I'm keeping it on the inside like that. So there we are. We're going to go for an hour at 325, then we come back and check up. I'm going to check on it the first half hour and then the 1 hour. This is the chicken after an hour at a very low temperature. So I'm going to turn up the temperature now to 350 for another hour because I want it to slow. So here we are now. I'm going to baste it. The foil stuck a little to the top there. That's fine. So I'm going to put it back in the oven without basting. Looking nice and juicy. And then I'm going to make another little mixture to baste it with again. Okay, here I have 2 tablespoons of ketchup, a teaspoon of guava jelly or the jelly of your choice, and about 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And I'm gonna mix that together and use this to baste the chicken. gonna baste the brush. Put the foil on the tips of the wings so that they don't get burnt. You can do it to the legs too, but the legs weren't burning in this case. Just baste it all around. So this is 15 minutes after I put it in the oven, so I'm gonna put it back in now. Okay, here I have the drippings from the chicken and a tablespoon of the remaining blended seasoning I had and some chopped tomatoes. So I'm gonna let that fry up and then we're gonna make our sauce. I added a teaspoon and a half of cornstarch with a 1/4 cup of water. So I'm just gonna let this thicken up now into a nice thick sauce.